is Sasha. This is Sam. When they first met, it was just small talk about where to find the best coffee, the new high top she just bought, a book of poetry he found at a used bookstore, a new local band she discovered just last weekend, a zombie apocalypse movie he saw last night with some friends in his martial arts class, her homemade screen print t-shirt, and his favorite Chinese restaurant, which made them both hungry. So they got 2 orders of Mandarin chicken with brown rice, and then Sam opened his fortune cookie. Life's journey ends with a new beginning.
Whoa, that's deep. But in the real world, life's journey ends with an ending. When you die, you're done.
Well, yes, your body no longer works, but your soul continues to exist, don't you think?
Your soul? No, I don't believe in ghosts. We're physical creatures, material objects, just a collection of highly organized atoms. When your brain flatlines, that's it, game over.
So you don't believe in life after death?
No. I mean, it's a comforting thought, but there's just no scientific evidence for it. I'd rather face the real world than believe in a fairy tale.
Yeah, I agree with you, Sam. It's best to face reality, but it may be that life after death is reality. I mean, think about it. If life just ends at death, then everything we do or say comes to nothing. What meaning or purpose can our lives possibly have?
Well, I guess my life has whatever meaning I choose to give it. I personally believe in truth, beauty, science, making the world a better place, saving the environment, freedom of speech, and, you know, tolerance.
Yes, that's all well and good. But what does all that matter if it ends in nothingness? What are your thoughts about God?
Which God? There are millions of gods.
The God that's in the Bible.
It's been proven that the Bible is just a bunch of mythology written by ancient desert nomads. But you know, if faith in God makes you feel good, I won't argue with that. But I personally prefer more of a rational, open-minded approach to life. Here's what I believe, Sasha. You shouldn't think anything is true unless it's been scientifically proven.
But has that belief itself been scientifically proven? Sam, you and I look at life very differently.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's like we're from different worlds.
Not different worlds, different worldviews. A worldview is the set of lenses through which you see the world around you. It's a web of habit-forming beliefs that helps you make sense of all your experiences. Through your worldview, you interpret life in a particular way. It affects how you think, how you feel, and how you live from day to day. To understand what your worldview is, think carefully about the big questions of life. Does God exist? How did everything begin? Who am I? Why am I here? Am I living a good life? What happens after I die? Cabbages and puppies don't think about this stuff, but people do. Reflecting on these questions is part of what makes us human. In fact, every one of us has a worldview. What's yours?
So, hopefully this helped explain a little bit of what a worldview is, because that's what we're going to be talking about today. Worldview is, literally everybody has a worldview. Just because you don't believe in a religion, or because you think, different than somebody that says this is my worldview or whatever, doesn't mean that you don't have your own worldview. Absolutely everybody, even like atheists that don't believe in anything, they have their own worldview. And the next couple weeks, we're going to be studying different types of worldviews that exist, so that we know what they are all about, and we know how to answer questions about them when we get asked or when we encounter somebody that thinks that way. And the reason why it's so important to know about the worldviews is because literally everything that we see, everything that we read, everything that we do is influenced in one way or another by a worldview. So, how many of you guys have seen the movie Avatar? Not the anime, the movie by James Cameron, like the little blue, well, they're not little, the huge blue guys. Yeah, you guys have seen it. So, do you remember from that movie that they were all connected to like the tree of life, and that even the plants and the animals, they were all connected to each other, and they could like feel each other, and they could like sense each other, and they were all together. And the explanation they had for that, it was that everything was God. And God was everything that you see. So you're connected with everything because God is also you, so you're connected with everything. That's a worldview, actually. There's many religions out there that think that, you know, this table is God, and that this chair is also God, and that if I pluck a hair out of my head, it's also God, and everything is God. That's a worldview. That worldview, we're actually going to study it in the upcoming weeks. That's one of the most prominent worldviews that there is out there, and that worldview is called pantheism. And that worldview is also like all over Disney movies as well, like even Lion King and stuff like that. Yeah, it's everywhere. Pantheism is one of the most like common worldviews that you'll see out there. So it's important that we know what it is all about and how to answer questions, you know, about pantheism, because literally, like I would say, easily like 60% of the stuff that you see in movies or online or stuff like that, they're going to be related to this worldview of pantheism. The other worldview we're going to be studying in upcoming weeks is naturalism. Naturalism is exactly the opposite of pantheism. So pantheism believes that everything is God, right? Naturalism believes that nothing is God because there's no God. Okay, so it's exactly the opposite. And for somebody that is, you know, for atheists that believe that there's no God, they actually have a worldview of naturalism. That's why they believe that there's no God, because they have this worldview of naturalism. And that's, I would say, the second most common worldview that we have right now in our society. Like, there's a lot of stuff telling us, well, God is, you know, is in your imagination, He doesn't exist, there's no God, and, you know, there's no truth into religion. But I want to ask you a couple questions, and I'm gonna ask you to just make like groups of 4. Make a group of 4, and I'm gonna ask you 2 questions. The first question is gonna be, what is real? Okay, so make a group of 4. You can make a group of 5. Yes. And then you're gonna discuss what is real. That's the first question. The second question I want you to discuss is, what is a human being? So very philosophical questions. I want you to speak in your group. What is real and what is a human being? Okay?
Out here, bringing your back into this.
I can keep giving you questions. Like,
Let me ask you. So a human being is a multicellular organism. Okay. Does that include if they have a mind?
Yes.
If they don't have a mind?
Our brain structure is a little different. Scientists have recently found a part of the brain that only exists in humans and not in rats.
What is it?
The
Oh, that's not Okay.
all right. Okay, let's see what you guys came up with. I'm gonna start over here. What is real? You're real? Something you believe is real? Okay. What about you guys over there? What is real? Something that exists? Okay. But what do you mean by exists? How do you know that something exists? Well, how do you define something exists? You can believe it? It breathes? But what about, it has a heart, but what about plants or rocks? They don't have a heart. What about a rock? A rock doesn't have a heart. Okay. Let's see over here. What is real?
God's chosen people.
God's chosen people is real?
What is real?
What is real?
What is real?
The Israelites.
Oh, God. Oh, you just got that?
What is real?
That's...
Oh, I said something that is or has existed.
Something that is or has existed, like, but define existed.
Doesn't have to be physically.
Wait, it's 33.
Because the facts are real, but they don't exist.
Is a dream real? A dream you can say is not real, or a dream you can say is real because you dreamt it, so you had it there. So
Thoughts and dreams and ideas are all real because they're chemical reactions in your brain. Chemical reactions are real.
You think of it, that is possible with other real things.
okay, let's see what they came up with. What is real?
We believe that something real is this third dimension that we are living in, followed by the fourth dimension of time. And so whatever that is tangible and that we can experience is the...
Beings are a creation that was made in the image of God, therefore is higher than the other things that we see here on earth because we were created in the image of God. Human beings are also an organism, complex organism. Yes. Can you tell me the components of? No, I'm kidding. There's a bug. There you go. No more bug. Okay. So with that, we transition into our next question, which our next question is, what happens when you die? So there's different beliefs. The most common ones is that you die and you go to some place. We Christians, Christians believe in general, Christians in general believe that when they die, they'll go to either heaven or hell, or purgatory, yeah. Seventh-day Adventists, which is our church, we believe that when you die, you are sleeping, you are dead, yeah, until Jesus Christ comes back and resurrects us, and then we go to heaven, okay? But either way, Christianity in general believes that when you die, sooner or later, you either go to heaven or go to hell. And non-Christians, but from other religions, also believe in some type of heaven. Other religions might call it nirvana or something else. Yes. And then there's also the worldview of when you die, nothing happens. You just become dust. And there's a worldview that when you die, you just reincarnate into something else. And yes, and realize that I said something else and not someone else. Because they believe the religions that believe in reincarnation, usually reincarnations are into animals. So yeah, every worldview, again, will try to answer this question of what happens when you die. And the last question that they'll try to answer is, how do we know what's right and wrong? Who gets to decide what's wrong or what's right? We believe that we are so wicked, right, that we cannot decide by ourselves what's right or wrong. And that's why God has given us some commandments and some laws so that we can know what things are good and what things